Hi guys! Thank you for clicking to watch this video. Today we're going to cook a simple traditional vegetarian Spanish paella. And I'm going to break down all the key components and techniques for you. And we will spice it up and plate it in a cool molecular gastronomy way. So make sure to watch it until the end. And don't forget to like and subscribe. When I lived in Barcelona, I used to eat paella almost every day. Frankly speaking, it's hard to avoid it there. It's being sold on each corner. Anyways, I fell in love with this dish completely and irrevocably and keep on cooking it even now, years later. A few days ago, I've done a poll on my Instagram channel, asking you guys what's the most important component in paella. By the popular vote, saffron was elected as the winner. I can't lie, there is no paella without saffron. It gives its iconic color and flavor. But the truth is, we can't really say what's the most important part in paella cooking. What I can do for you though is to talk about all three main components. And those are Sofrito, saffron and socora, the triple S. There are several ways how you can use saffron in paella cooking. But I personally prefer to make a saffron tea. Just boil the vegetable stock, drop some saffron strands in and let them steep for at least 10 minutes. Making sofrito is quite easy, but also time-consuming. The most important factor in sofrito making is having all your vegetables cut in brunoise style, which basically means as thin as possible. For example, in this basic recipe I use only onions, bell peppers and tomatoes. You can use any vegetables that you like, but this is the basic set. So when I cut peppers here, I also slice them through 2-3 times before cutting in tiny cubes. The smaller are your cuts, the more surface area you have on your vegetables. And consequently, the more flavor you can extract. And flavor is the main function of sofrito. That is particularly important in vegetable paella cooking, when no animal proteins are used. We don't really want to see the pieces of vegetables in paella, but we want to maximize the flavor and bring that umami taste. Cooking sofrito, that is the time-consuming part. And that's where many fail. I know, I'm not the most patient person myself, but trust me on this, you don't want to rush this process. Set your pan on low heat and sweat your sofrito. Start with onions, bring them almost to a caramelized state and then add peppers and later on tomatoes. By the way, sweating is an actual culinary term, used to describe the process of onion cooking on low heat. Onions lose their nasty spiciness and extract all the yummy flavors in this process. So, here's another tip for you. If someone in your family doesn't like onions, just cut them brunoise and swirl the hell out of them. No one will notice them in the end dish, but will certainly complement your own flavor. After about 15 to 20 minutes, when your sofrito is ready, add a spoon of paprika and toast it a bit on a pan, mixing with your sofrito. Make sure not to burn it though, control your pan temperature. And add the washed and pre-soaked rice. And toast it for a bit as well. Use bombo rice if you have access to it, otherwise you can also use short grain sushi style rice. It works just fine for paella. You've probably noticed that I've changed pans here. There is definitely no need for you to do that. You can start right away in a paella pan. At this point I was testing out different recipes for this video, that's why I've made lots of sofrito at the beginning to save time. Anyways, never mind that, just use one pan. Then add your saffron tea. The ratio would usually be 1:1, so 1 cup of rice to 1 cup of liquid. But since we will be cooking our paella uncovered in the oven, add a bit more stock to compensate for the loss of moisture in vapor. In about 15 minutes, your paella should be ready. Take it out of the oven, put it back on the stovetop and keep on cooking on medium heat to get that socora, caramelized bottom crust, the final S. Okay, we've just prepared our key component, paella. And now it's time to move on and do some cool plating. I was thinking to do it in Tapas style and include some molecular gastronomy elements to it. If you want to follow my steps, then make sure to watch this video About tuile cooking, you'll see later on I made some tuile baskets. And this video about tomato flakes made from tomato skins that we removed earlier on in the process. And of course this video about reverse verification process. Without further ado, let's keep on watching the plating.